Hey, Algebra 1, we are on 2A.3. We have points on a line. We are going to find some other points on a line, and then we're going to find the constant of proportionality. So we have this line right here. It's a negative slope. It's going to have a negative constant of proportionality, just like we saw yesterday. And there's 2 points that they give us on this line. We have -1, 2 right here. We went left 1, up 2. We also have the point 0, 0. So what are some other points that we could find on this graph? Notice I went down 2 and over 1 as I was moving right on the graph. So from this point, I went down 1, 2, and moved right 1. So if I kept that going, if I went down 2 and over 1, what point would I be? I'd be at 1, -2. So there's a point right there. If I went another down 2 and over 1, what point is this? It'd be 2, -4. Or if I, instead of going down 2 and over 1, I could go up 2 and back 1 and go backwards on the line. So I would be at -2, +4 up here. So these are just some other points we could find on the line just by counting down and over or up and back. I want you to try to find a couple more because you'll kind of see that on the homework. And then really the last thing right here, what's our constant of proportionality? So that's the ratio that we talked about yesterday, the y to the x. So when x is 1, what is our y value going to be? We went down 2. And when x was 1, we went down 2. So our y was -2 and our x was 1. We went -2 to 1. And then to finish this up, we have a fraction and we're missing a piece to this equation. So we have 3 2/5. So there's 3 2/5 right there equals something over 10. And we want these two fractions to be equal, but we don't know what goes on top yet. So this is a mixed fraction right now, and we don't want this big number on the top. We just want a number on or out in front. We just want a number on top and number on the bottom. So I'm going to take the number on the bottom. I'm going to multiply it by the number out front. So 5 times 3, and then add it to the top. So 5 times 3 and add it to the top over 5 equals, we don't know, over 10. So we got rid of this big number out in front. Well, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So we have 17 over 5 equals x over 10. I'm just calling this x because we don't know what this is on top right here. So when we have a fraction that equals a fraction, we're going to do something called cross multiplication. So I'm going to take the top left and multiply to the bottom right. What's 17 times 10? That's 170. And then I'm going to take the bottom left and multiply by the top right. So 5 times x is 5x. And now we can solve for x. We can solve for what goes in this part of the fraction, just like we have been for the last 2 months. Let's divide by 5, and we see that x, so this number on top, is 34.